we are talking about Kennedy Ryan, This Could Be Us. I started reading the book yesterday. Today is April 15th. I started reading the book yesterday. I'm on chapter 8. And this is going to be a compilation of videos of me reacting to the chapters. So I'm going to try to pull my camera out after I get done reading, because this Can Be Us is so different from Before I Let Go in a way of it got right to the problem. Because when I first picked up the book, I was looking through the chapters, because you know, like in Before I Let Go, each chapter is like one chapter is Jasmine, one chapter is Josiah. So when I picked up this book, I was like trying to see like who the chapters were about. So I saw one chapter was Soledad and another chapter was Judah. And I was like, who is Judah? Because I know from Before I Let Go, Edward is Soledad's husband. So I'm like, what are we getting into in this book? And one thing Kennedy Ryan did not do was make us wonder. First couple chapters, boom, 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 FBI, you going to jail, embezzlement, $6 million. I was like, what? But I'm on chapter 8 now. So I'm gonna read. I'm left off at chapter 8. And from 1 to 8, it was really much. So we find out who Judah is finally. Because I was like, who is that man? But like, I get it, but then I don't get it. Because I'm on the fence of like, if you read Before I Let Go, you know Edward was not very attentive as a husband. Not very present, I should say. Or even paying attention to Soledad. So we get into This Could Be Us. And I feel like he's even ruder from Before I Let Go. Like, this man is an asshole, one. But them first couple chapters, like the first couple chapters about them getting ready for the Christmas party, I had to remember like, oh, Edward is a white man. And of course our girl Soledad is a black woman. Because I'm like, why is he talking to her like this? And he keeps saying, I don't know if it's like more, the way it's coming off, we're gonna see in the future, but like if it's more like just manipulative. But just by the pages, just by the words on the pages, there's no way this man loves her. Like she is just a trophy wife, and that's what it's given. But chapter 7 actually also solidified he sees her as a trophy wife, because him telling her, oh, I'm the one going to work, I was the one going to work every day. So that doing everything for the children, cooking, cleaning, wasn't work. I was like, oh, this man is crazy. Like, he really thinks she at home with her feet up waiting for him to get home. But I'm kind of curious to see where this book is going to take us. Well, it's a romance book, so I'm assuming, just the assumption, her and Judah going to end up together some way at the end of this book. Right now, I don't know how, because your husband is getting investigated by the FBI because of this man. How do y'all end up back together? It's kind of crazy. I mean, I understand the whole Christmas thing and him seeing her, him giving her more attention, but now your husband is in jail. So I'm really curious to see how this all turns out. Also, like how Kennedy Ryan is writing Judah's twin boys, like with autism. I'm like, oh my god. And I have a couple family members who have autism, and I'm like, she's writing them so well. I feel like she's explaining this so well, how they differently, like how each brother differently interacts, like from Aaron to Adam, like how they're different in their ways and function differently. That was good. But I plan to read a couple chapters, not even a couple chapters. I'm planning to read every day, but I'm gonna just stop when I feel like stopping, and I'm gonna try to pick up the camera and record my reaction. I should have recorded my reaction when I read that he was getting locked up, because that little argument in the kitchen, that they was having before the FBI came to the door, Edward need to be in jail anyway. We don't even need to talk about Edward no more. Let's figure out how Soledad and Judah come back together. Yeah. All right, it is a new day. Yesterday, I couldn't sleep, so I decided to read a few chapters of This Could Be Us. And I think I read about 3, maybe 3. I would have went more, but I had to cut myself off so I could actually go to bed. But there's no question why Soledad is going to keep interacting with Judah. Because at first, when I first was reading, I was like, okay, how we even want to keep communicating? Like, this don't even make sense. Like, he is the reason why your family is in this, well, not sole reason, but he's a part in why your family has to deal with this. Of course, Edward is the sole reason because he don't who committed the crime. The chapters I just read, first of all, chlamydia? What? I should have recorded myself live reading that, but I was in my bed chilling, sleep with a with a book light on my forehead, so that would have been embarrassing. But chlamydia, I read, and it, mind you, it was at the top of the chapter, so I'm like, this book is so different from Before I Let Go, simply off the fact that everything is happening. So I hope it doesn't like slow down at the end, because like everything is happening in the beginning. Like Before I Let Go, I consider that a slow burn because they gave us the details, and like it was a lot of background information in the beginning, and then like it sped up and it was like hit, boom, boom, boom. This story right here, I feel like I'm watching an episode of something. I don't know, I was gonna say SVU, but it's not a SVU crime. It's giving it is white collar. So is it a show called White Collar? It's giving that I'm watching that. Because what? And then Edward is such a piece of dookie. Like, what? The jail scene? I might have to write the jail scene as like a little script, see if I can do that as a script. The jail scene was good, because I feel like Soledad is very, she plays that role of being in the back, and like it's time for her to knock. Because even in the last book, Hendrix said, like, girl, you could do this, you could have a catering thing, you could do, like, it's so much stuff Soledad could do, but she was too busy taking care. When Edward said to Soledad, I do everything, and you just gonna, when he said, I'm gonna divorce you when I get out, Soledad better than me. I would have been like, oh baby, no, we're gonna be divorced before you even get sentenced, baby. What are you talking about? We're gonna be divorced before that damn ink dry on that piece of paper. Because what do you mean when I get out we're gonna divorce? No, we're gonna divorce before you go to trial, because you're tripping. Like, what? He's crazy. And then I'm trying to figure out how, like, is he actually sleeping with Amber, or is he just sleeping with somebody else? And who could it be? Because he swore up and down he ain't sleeping with Amber. And I feel like, because it's not Amber, it has to, it's probably someone else. But is Amber still working for Cowpot? Because if she is, and Soledad just need to go to the FBI. Ain't no more loyalty no more. We're getting a divorce. I would have told, maybe it's because I'm not a parent either, but the kids would have knew the beans, okay? Because Inez already, well, she did say she was a daddy's girl, so that makes sense. But I would have spilled the beans like, y'all daddy did it, and we just gonna have to wait this out. He ain't getting out of jail, sorry. Like, what? Or the scene where Soledad took the machete to everything, that right there, she should have been there. She should have did that the night that he called her loose. I said, this book is getting good though. This book is getting good. I wonder if she's gonna go, because the last thing I read before I fell asleep was she had found, when she was macheting everything in his little man cave, she had found a flash drive in the Larry Bird jersey. I gotta see how this play out. I'm gonna definitely read some more today. I'll probably give some random reactions. I'm working from home today, so I got some time on my hands. But Edward, I hope this is the last we hear about him. But I know it's not. But she need to divorce him now. I don't know why. But then again, they did say he was stupid. Cause I don't know, maybe he think he can't get a divorce until he get out of jail. No, baby. And then also, you do this type of crime, what makes him think, okay, even if you do plead guilty or whatever, like, you still gotta pay restitution. So you're gonna pay this $6 million back. It's not like you're gonna do your time, get out of jail, and then go fly over to Bali. You gonna have to still pay that restitution. Like, you gonna still owe them money. Like, unless you just don't plan on coming back. And then he talking about his kids and you will never see your kids again. What? What? Edward thought he had a ride or die. He did not. And she should not. But I'm gonna get into, I think, let me see what chapter I'm on. I stopped at page 100. Okay, we are chapter 11. Oh, now we get into Judah. We get into Judah thoughts. That's what I need now. Like, oh, I didn't read the first sentence, but I'm gonna get into this and see y'all in a minute. All right, so I'm doing my nighttime reading before bed. So I finally read those last couple chapters. I done made it to part 2. So what I just read though, so that, like we said, she tore up the thing, found the little flash drive. She turned the flash drive into Judah. More tension builds. So I'm actually glad that she did it, because she was very much given at first that she wasn't going to do it. So I'm glad that she actually did turn in the flash drive. So now I'm trying to figure out how this is going to go. So she's able, I love how she stood up for herself. She's able to get her money unfrozen, keep her house, but now she got to figure out how she going to do it for her and her daughters to make some money, pay the mortgage. Now she a single mother because the man in jail. Also, I don't think I mentioned this either from reading Before I Let Go and then transition to this one, but I love the friendship between Yasmin, Hendrix, and Soledad. Like, that's the real ride or die friend group right there. I like that. So tomorrow, because I'm about to go to sleep now, but tomorrow I will start part 2 and we'll see where that leads. I saw already that it jumped 8 months, so I'm like, dang, they taking out some detail. Like, so much detail was in Before I Let Go, and I hope she ain't taking all the details out, but we jumped 8 months. So that's where we're gonna be at tomorrow. All right, this is an in-bed reaction because I literally just put the book down. I literally just got done reading chapter 23. Yes, chapter 23, because I'm on chapter 24 now. I'm gonna keep reading, but I just had to stop and record this. I don't remember the last time I recorded my reaction, but I think the last time I recorded was I had just started part 2. But now I'm well into part 2. I was a little skeptical of jumping the whole 8 months or whatever, but I'm really feeling the building of the tension that Kennedy Ryan is doing with Soledad and Judah. Like, I'm really feeling it. So like I said, just stopped chapter 23, and I really respect how she is writing Judah, like respecting Soledad boundaries. Like, we finally get to the point, which I thought was crazy, Soledad showing up to that man's house. But okay, we're at the end because I hadn't skipped a whole bunch of chapters. So since part 2 has started, So Dad and the girls have been pretty much taking control of her life, coming up with new ways to make money to afford the bills. She did have to turn her Range Rover in and get a I think she said a Honda, but she was able to keep her house. They are not like, she didn't get in trouble or nothing. So that's where we're all at. That's where we started at in part 2. She's doing a bunch of side hustles. She's become viral on Instagram with some, I think she did a vinaigrette video and everybody loved it in the neighborhood. So she's doing these different opportunities. So the first where I was like, oh, we're finally getting somewhere, is when she did the focaccia. I think that's what the bread is called. I used to work at Panera, so I think that's what it's called. But the bread is good. At least I know the bread is good. But she did the little drop offs, and they was on a porch. And I think it's very cute that Aaron remembers Soldad's name, and like, when he sees her, he's just like, Soldad. Like, he don't say hi or nothing. He just be like, Soldad. Like, yeah, that's her. But dropping off the bread to his house, I really hope that I'm trying to figure out like how we gonna get around like Inez and her hatred. I want to say hatred because she don't really know the man, but her blaming Judah for her daddy being in jail. Like, how we gonna get around that? Because clearly they need to end up together in the end. I'm trying to figure out how that goes. Unless she just gonna hate her stepdaddy. Don't know. But like, I'm back to what I was saying. The bread, her dropping off the bread and that little tension on the porch. I said, okay, we're getting there. And then we get to the Harvest Festival, and he go to her thing by himself. Go to the little farm to table, I think it was called, was Soldad. He went by himself. And then him stalking her Instagram. We're just building up. When are we going to get there is where I'm at now. Like, where are we going to get there? Because we're just getting all those pieces. Like, you know, Soldad is dating herself. She's trying to get to know herself. She don't want to know nobody else right now. He's trying to respect that. But he want her he keeps intentionally setting up ways to see her. So the last thing I seen, like, why she showed up at his house is because he got her a catering job at the job that the husband stole from. Ironic, but good for the book, good for the plot. When this is really what people say, like, this is really what people mean when they be like, do it for the plot. Because I feel like every time I get to a new chapter, it's like, oh, this is what doing it for the plot means, just doing stuff. But I like it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm about to dive into chapter 24. And I wonder how long it's gonna take me. I didn't read for a couple days. Well, I didn't record my reaction. I actually read. I just didn't record myself. But today, what is today? April 20th. Today's April 20th. So, and then Can't Get Enough comes out. I believe Barnes & Noble said it ships out May 13th, and I should get it by the 21st. So I need to have the book. I feel like I need to finish the book in the next couple weeks. But I'm honestly probably gonna be done the next couple days the way I'm reading. But it's so good. And it's like different from your normal slow burn, I feel like. Like I said before, I feel like before I Let Go had a lot of details. Like, we were learning about their relationship. We were learning about like their past. Like, we were going through the motions. I feel like this book, we are hitting the points. Like, we are really hitting the points really fast and then getting into it. So like, it's a little faster, but like the burn is still slow because Soldad and Judah are burning slow. But we getting all the details that we need to get. And I actually enjoy that about this book. And I'm gonna keep reading. So see y'all in the next clip. Alright, so I just finished chapter 26. So I'm gonna stop for tonight and go to bed. But I do like that we finally got back to her sisters, because I feel like we talked about her sisters, like they had a FaceTime call when she first told them about Edward's situation. But I like that we brung it back and we did another FaceTime call with the sisters, and then her oldest sister, I think Lola, is coming to visit. Like, I feel like this is bringing the story pieces together. I'm really feeling this book. I think it's slowly becoming better than Before I Let Go, but I really like Before I Let Go. But I made it to the end. I haven't made it to the end of this one yet, so I can't say confidently that I like this one better than Before I Let Go, but I am really enjoying it. Also like the FaceTime call. You know, there's a lot of FaceTime calls these last couple of chapters, but the FaceTime call Judah had with his mother, and he was telling her about Soul Dad, and the fact that his dad is watching Soul Dad on social media and using her recipes is cute. But yeah, that's where I'm at so far. I just read a couple extra chapters, and then I'm going to bed. So I think tomorrow I'm gonna try to get all the way to chapter 30, because I'm at chapter 27 now. So I'm gonna try to get all the way to 30. I'm probably gonna go past 30, but just in case I self-care too hard, we're aiming for 30. So yeah, see you in the next one. All right, today is April 22nd. I literally just hopped out the bed. This is my little reading light with my book. But I literally just hopped out the bed. I just got done reading chapter 30. And Soul Dad and Judah finally kissed. About time. We done made it to Christmas, and Soul Dad's sister has come. Soul Dad's sister has come to visit her and the girls. Her little argument, Soul Dad argument she had with the mother-in-law. Oh, what the audacity. And I keep forgetting that the mother-in-law isn't black. Like, she is, I'm assuming white. Well, yeah, she's a white woman, because Edward is white. But the audacity. And then the fact that she's like, oh, at least let me see Luke. Like, you have three grandkids. Why are you only worried about one grandchild? That's weird. But I'm finally glad we made it to the part that Judah and Soul Dad kissed at the Christmas party. And what the last chapter, oh, she had brought him some food and some coquito. And I don't know why Soul Dad keep playing these little games with herself about, oh, I'm not gonna, like, you came to his house. First of all, she keep just coming to his house uninvited and then texting when she outside. That's a little weird. Like, you keep calling him a stalker for following your social media. You just be pulling up at his house. you just be pulling up at his house and being like, I'm outside. That is very stalkerish too. Y'all both have stalker tendencies. But I'm here for the couple, okay? I'm gonna pause on reading tonight because it's a little late. But the last chapter I just read, the Judah chapter, I think that was 30. 30 was Judah's chapter. Was good. And I'm really trying to figure out, when are we gonna, because I feel like the next steps where we're at, like, you done already kissed the man, you done already told the man you like him. We need to figure out how we're gonna get the daughters a part of this. I feel like that's what's coming next, because we already know Inez is gonna blow a gasket because she believe her father ain't do nothing. So I'm just curious about how that's gonna go. But the book, I'm really enjoying this book. Like, it hasn't, at first I was scared. Like, I feel like the beginning picked up so fast, like with the embezzlement, this was happening, that was happening, this was happening, but it hasn't slowed down. I'm messing with it, and we haven't, like, ever since the 8-month jump, it hasn't jumped since, and I appreciate that. But I'll see you in the next one after I continue to read. So, ooh, it is a new day. I think it's the 23rd, but I just had to pause my reading. I literally just hopped out the bed to pause my reading. I just got done with chapter 32. This man, Edward, then got the mistress pregnant? I wish, I understand the lady was walking in the jail with the baby. But I would have so dad would have, she should have cussed her out just a little bit more. And she had the gall to say, oh, I ain't wrecked no home. Girl, what? If it was me, I mean, I understand the daughters ain't gonna understand. Definitely Inez ain't gonna understand. They will never see him again. I'm sorry. Go be with your new family, cause that is crazy. And I was wondering why he was kind of rushing them out, but now we know why they was getting rushed out. And he was like, no, it's been 30 minutes. Cause I swear, I thought you could visit for however long you want, maybe at least an hour, but only 30 minutes. That is crazy. That is crazy. I'm about to start reading chapter 33. Chapter 31 though, I did read that one. That one was Judah's point of view. And one thing I do wish Judah would stop doing is bringing up Edward. I know it's like little digs or whatever. He do not have to bring him up or bring up how stupid he is every chance he get. We already know Edward is stupid. This man is a dumbass. For real. But getting the other lady pregnant, I was not expecting that. I literally was like, a baby. But yeah, I had to get up and record this. But yeah, I'ma get back into chapter 33. Well, I'm gonna start reading chapter 33, and then I may come back with another update today. But that one right there really got me. A baby? A baby? Are you serious? Ridiculous. Oh, and so dad pulling him close in the jail and telling him what she told him. It's my girl. I like that. But yeah, I do wish Judah would stop bringing Edward up every time they meet up. But yeah, see you in the next one. All right, so I just got done reading chapter 33. I think, yeah, chapter 33. And I'm with Judah. Like, I get that it's coming off that Soledad is using him, because as soon as you come home from the jail, and I don't know why she keep popping up at this man's house. Like, she never called when she on her way. She called when she outside. What if that man wasn't home, girl? You can't just keep showing up at this man's house. But it is given very much, you was using me for revenge sex, because you find out that this Edward had a baby with his secretary, and you come to my house. But she did try to word it, you know, she tried to throw a little game on my man Judah and was like, well, no, you were the first person I thought about.
I love seeing people do these videos about having free will. Like, I never would think to do this. Like, she told us something, bought a 3-gallon tub of acai. She's like, we got smoothies at home. Like, what? Like, 3 pounds of acai. My goodness.
I'm weak because I was in the middle of recording my little response to chapter 33. But that's crazy, because why do you need that much acai?
She said, point of view, you remember you had free will and buy a 3-gallon tub of acai?
I didn't even know you could buy that much at one time. Where'd she even find that?
Somebody said, that's a fact, girl. I got tired of paying $13 at the Smoothie King.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no, it is expensive.
Oh, wow.
But, like, I don't know if I would, like... Oh, she even portioned it out.
Okay.
She put it in containers and stocked her freezer with it.
I forgot what I was talking about.
Wow.
What was I saying? Oh, I remember. So, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so it comes off that she's using him to get over Edward, but he clearly want more with her, but she is just trying to get over her ex. I'm gonna need her to figure this out. I'm still trying to figure out what she gonna say to the girls, because Inez still think it's Judah's fault. But I don't know. Inez seemed like she coming around, because when they was sitting outside the jail and they was like, you sure you want to come in? And she was like, yeah, I want to come in. Why y'all don't want me to come in? And Inez was like, because he cheated on you. Yeah. So like she coming around, but she's still like, oh, that's my daddy. But I'm trying to see where the book go. I'm probably gonna read one more chapter tonight, because it sounds like they about to get to it. So I'm gonna read that chapter just to see what it's giving, because Judah told her to go upstairs. We're gonna see what that's about. But I probably won't read it right now, because now I'm watching The Equalizer. All right, more nighttime reading. So I just got done reading chapter 36. And again, I feel like I said this before, I really love the friendship between Yasmin, Soledad, and Hendrix. You know, we love a good trio friendship. And like, they're very supportive. They have real girl chats. This last chapter made me think of, you remember, I think it's Beyonce. No, it's Destiny's Child. And like, girl, needing somebody to... That whole conversation they just had at Grits felt like that music video, because they trying to get Soledad to understand, girl, you like Judah, that's fine. You do not like, but oh, my camera about to die. But I understand where Soledad's coming from. She trying to make sure she trusts herself before she get into something else. But that was just, she is letting that toxic man thoughts and all this stuff that he was saying about her affect her brain. Also, I really don't like being on the man's side, but like, Judah has already fallen, so he done fell. He waiting for Soledad to fall with him. It's just like, when he gonna realize she not ready, or when she gonna realize she is ready, so they can really get this together. Like, I'm on chapter 30, so chapter 37 is next. I'm gonna read that tomorrow. But when is she gonna figure this out? Because now we moving too slow. We moving way too slow now. But because we haven't jumped at all, which I really appreciate. I keep saying, like, I feel like I'm contradicting myself, but the nosy person in me is happy we're getting all these details. But yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna revisit, well, I'm gonna continue reading again. But yeah, I really like their friendship. And I really just need her to forget, at this point, forget about Edward. He done had a baby. He started a new family. He planned on doing this when he got out of jail. But I also agree, she should not have to tell them girls that he got another baby. He need to do that. But yeah, I'm going to check in tomorrow. We have another bedtime reading update. Oh, I still got my reading light on. But hey, it helps, so I don't have to keep unclipping the thing from the book every time I gotta turn a page. So I wear the reading light on my head. Easier reading. But I just got done chapter 39. So I don't know how long we supposed to be waiting, but the last thing that just happened in what I read was Inez catching Soledad and Judah outside after the little, it seemed like they were doing a career day, but they ain't call it career day, but it sounded like career day. But I'm curious to see how this plays out, because Inez is very much team Edward, but we team Judah over here. But yeah, I don't know, Judah talking about he gonna be patient, it's only so much patience in the world that can happen. Like, come on now. There's nobody could be this daggone patient. It's given too good to be true. But you know, we not gonna bring my trust issues into the story. But I do like how Judah and his ex-wife's relationship has been developing, because you know they both have to take care of the kids. They both gotta be there for the kids. But their relationship, I think, is really good. Like, they give very much genuine platonic friendship. And I feel like that ain't really talked about in books, or at least in the books I've read so far. Nobody is really platonic friends. And we need that, because men and women can just be friends. But I'm at chapter 40, so that means I think it's like 6 chapters left if I'm not mistaken. But so that means either by tomorrow I should be done. What's today? Today is April 26th. Well, technically, well, yeah, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. But April 26th. So I should be done probably by the end of today. You know, I'll probably read when I wake up Saturday. So we almost done with this book. Then I can't get enough after this. So yep. Oh, and make sure you check out my Dreamcast and script that I made for Before I Let Go. I posted it on here. I posted it on Lemon 8 and TikTok, so definitely check that out. Follow me. And then we're gonna see what the end of this book is giving. So yeah. Alright. I just read chapter 40. And like I said sooner or later Judah was gonna get fed up and was like, no. So they just he just fake broke up with her, clearly, because you can't really break up with somebody you ain't really dating. But I said sooner or later he was gonna get fed up. Like, he can't keep playing this game because he know what he want, but she don't know what she want. But she finally came to terms with she don't want to ever get married again. But I'm going right into the next chapter. I'm going to finish the book today, so we're going to get a whole synopsis after this. But them going through this whole thing at chapter 40, I'm just like, all this stuff about to happen real fast because it's only a couple chapters left. I think it's like 46 or 45 chapters. So in the next 5 chapters, I feel like a lot of things are going to be happening. So they're probably going to do a whole nother jump. Let me see chapter 41. So it didn't jump. It just goes to a conversation, a FaceTime with her sister. So let me get into chapter 41 and see where we go. But I said he was eventually going to get fed up because he knows exactly what he wants. And that's Soul Dad. And Soul Dad is still worrying about Edward, worrying about what the girl's gonna think. Granted, first of all, Inez, ooh, the way she came with her mama, oh my gosh. And like that, I feel like she's writing very well, like what a child's mind is gonna think. Because me, as a 28-year-old adult, I can see Edward did wrong. That's his fault. This really has nothing to do with Judah. Judah was doing his job. But as a 15 or 14-year-old girl, she like, this man put my daddy in jail. And she believing what he said, even though her daddy is lying. But don't nobody want to tell a 14-year-old child that her daddy is a liar and a cheater. And he got a whole second family out there. And that when he get out of jail, he's most likely not going to talk to y'all. Crazy. Drama. All right, so we finally finished This Could Be Us. I finally finished it. Actually, I finished it last night, but I'm waking up now to talk. So the last few chapters, I think the last time I would think I was at like chapter 42. So there was 45 chapters in total, and then of course the last little part that give you a little synopsis and like a little extra of what happened. So the last few chapters I thought were cute. Like, it really just build up how Judah and Soul Dad really got together. So I really like that. I do feel like I wish it was more like of that, because it was pretty much like, oh, they got together, book over. Like, that's kind of that's pretty much what happened. Like, they finally reconnect, and then that's the end of the book. And then at the last little part, it jumped a year later. But I like how it was just like, so Adam had a seizure. It's kind of what kind of reconnected them. Inez got home and told Soul Dad, like, oh my God, Adam had a seizure at school, and like Inez was very worried, which is like progress. So I was like, that's like, it really didn't. So like in the book, she addressed it though too. She addressed how her and Inez really didn't talk about what the real issues was. But like Inez did say that she was talking to Lupe. So like she was talking to her older sister. So I feel like it was like unspoken clarity that was going on between the two sisters that had, because they just touched upon it, like, oh, they had a conversation, and then like kind of Inez's mood kind of changed, but not really changed. Like she was still very much, but as a child should be, like, this a new man around my mama, but she wasn't as Judah from Without Lies, this is Judah's fault anymore. And then so after Adam had the seizure, she go up to the hospital to see him. Well, she didn't see Adam, she saw Judah, but I get where that all was going. Like, he was about to leave anyway. He ran into her when he was leaving, so she never really went upstairs, but Adam was okay nonetheless. And then after that, they had dinner, and that's pretty much how the book ends. They have dinner as a family. Judah, Adam, Aaron, Tremaine, Kent, and then the girls, Lupe, Lottie, Inez, Soledad, sat there, all had dinner. But that's literally how the book ended. So like, if we didn't get the little last couple pages of like what happened a year later, like a lot of questions would have been answered, because I had questions at the end of that chapter, like what happened with Edward, because we know the last thing we heard, Edward got out. Well, he was getting out early due to good behavior. So that said, she wasn't telling the girls that he had another baby. She thought it was up to him to tell, which I'll agree. So like, it was still a lot of unanswered questions by the time we got to the end. We just know they had this great family dinner, and now they're dating. I do like though about the book that it's so different from Before I Let Go in like relationship wise. So like Yasmin, Josiah, they got they were married, they got divorced, then they got remarried. This book, Soledad done left her husband, found a new man, but she's like, I don't think I want to get married. I think I want to do this a little bit different, like relationship a little bit different. So it's just like, I like that aspect of it. Like, it's different ways, like they're pretty much showing different ways to have a relationship. I like that. So like the year later, we find out in the update, pretty much we find out that Edward left and went off with his new family, which I knew that was gonna happen, but like, that's unfortunate. But Judah and Soledad are still living in separate houses, because they have their own separate, like, they're like dating, but they're living in separate houses. Like, she's trying to post them on the social medias now. Like, they're getting serious, but they're still separately because of Adam and Aaron's autism. Like, they don't want to change up their schedule, so they still are living in their separate houses. The girls are with Lola for the summer, working at the bookstore. Lola and Olive actually fell in love, and they're trying this whole little thing. So I like that part pretty much they answered all the questions that I had. We also find out that Soledad still ended up having to tell the girls that Edward had another baby. Like, that wasn't something that Edward told him. But Lupe, which I understand because she's the oldest, Lupe is like, no, not dealing with that man. Inez and Lottie are still like, they had their little turn, like they little thoughts about him, but it's not all bad like Lupe, because Lupe probably understand differently. But overall, I really like the book. I really enjoy reading this book. I can't wait for the next book to come. It says it's supposed to mail out on May 13th, so hopefully I get it by like probably like May 15th, May 20th, something. Hopefully I get it soon, I can start reading that. I'm probably also, because with that book I ordered some other books too. I thought they was gonna come before that book come, because it was, the other books were in pre-order, but during that order I ordered Natasha Bishop, Only for the Weak, so I want to read that as well. I did pre-order Adrian Bash, We're Just Friends by Tia Williams, so that's also part of my list of books to read. Then I had a few comments, few recommendations on TikTok of books to read, so I'm gonna try to find those books as well, read those. But from reading this, I do have a few, like I'm probably most likely gonna do a Dreamcast and a script for this one, because I could just, this book, when you read this book, I feel like you could just see what's going on. At least that's how I took it. Like I could just see like the scenes happening, like even like whenever, like that first beginning part when Edward is like getting pulled out the house, I'm like, I could see this in a movie or something. So I'm gonna work on that and post that soon. But overall, I really love this book. I really enjoy reading it. If y'all have read it, please let me know what you thought about the book in the comments. Did you enjoy the book? Do you know any other books by Kennedy Ryan that you think I might like? Let me know all in the comments. And thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.